Boy, I love my Zappos. It's a great pair of shoes and a great story about how I got them. I was in New Orleans for a conference that was going to last a week, and I needed a pair of black, comfortable dress shoes. I went to some of the local stores there on the riverfront. Nobody had them. I called the Nordstroms back here in Pleasanton. They said they could get them to me in a week. Wasn't going to help. I went to the hotel computer and found Zappos and called them, and they said I could have them the next day, and they wouldn't charge me any extra for shipping. I became an immediate fan. The shoes showed up at the hotel, and the next thing you know, I've got comfortable feet for a week. Who is Zappos? They might be the biggest company you haven't yet heard of. They sell shoes online, but if you ask them what they really do, they say they sell service, that they're a manufacturer of wow. And I want to share with you today a little bit about this company and describe it in terms that might help you in your practice as you want to elevate the experience. What you should know up front is that this company is less than 10 years old, and in 2008 they hit the $1 billion mark in terms of annual revenue. Some other stats that might want to know is that they have over 800,000 different products that they sell through their website. They have over 7 million customers in the United States, and at the UPS facility that ships their packages in Kentucky, 1 out of every 50 boxes going through there has a Zappos label on it. The question you might be asking is, how did they do this? Well, it's a great story, and it starts with core values. This company has core values that are 10 core values that they live by, and I'm actually going to read them to you so that you have a sense of what this company's culture is like. First, they deliver wow through service. Second, they embrace and drive change. Third, they create fun and a little weirdness. Fourth, they want to be adventurous, creative, and open-minded. Value number 5, they pursue growth and learning. Sixth, they build open and honest relationships with communication. 7, they build a positive team and family spirit. 8, they do more with less. 9, they are passionate and determined. And 10, they always want to be humble. I think those are tremendous core values and ones that we could probably emulate in our practices. And besides core values, something they really do a great job on is training of new employees, of current employees. Every employee that gets hired at Zappos goes through a 4-week training session. It sounds grueling, and it is. At the end of 2 weeks, all the employees in that training class meet with the CEO, Tony Hsieh. And at the end of his presentation, he stands up, he pulls out a big wad of cash, and he offers a bounty. It's very simple. He'll offer any of these new employees $2,000 if they will agree to leave the company that day. He'll pay them for the 2 weeks they came, they'll take their $2,000 cash, and they're gone, never to be in that company again as an employee. Interestingly, a handful, maybe 5 to 10%, is what they tell me actually take them up on the bounty. But if you think of that as a strategy standpoint, it really is a great way of weeding out bad employee problems before they could ever happen. Because at Zappos, cultural fit of employees is critical. And one of the other neat things they do is the boot camp. They actually send employees from Las Vegas, where they're headquartered, out to Kentucky to work in the shipping facility. And employees from Kentucky come to Las Vegas to work in the call center and learn what it's like to interact directly with customers. They also are very strong in customer loyalty. In fact, they don't call their telephone center a call center. They call it a customer loyalty center, and they have a call center team, a customer loyalty team. What I really find unique about this is the employees are not scripted. They're not told what to say when they're on the telephone, and there's no mandated call times. The goal of the phone interaction is not to take an order, but it's rather to create a PEC, a positive emotional connection with the caller. I encourage you to call Zappos. Their phone number is 1-800-ZAPPOS-1, 1-800-ZAPPOS-1. And in fact, let's give them a call and see what happens.
Thank you for calling Zappos.com. Para servicio en español, por favor, marque 8.
We'll keep it in English.
Another great day here at Zappos.com. My name is Leilani from the Customer Loyalty Team.
And my name is Megan from our customer loyalty team. To place a new order, press 1.
It's a great day at Zappos. This is Ricardo. How can I help you?
Hey, Ricardo. I am traveling to San Francisco this weekend, and I'm wondering, can you tell me what the weather's going to be like?
Yeah, let me see what I can do for you. Just one moment. Right here. And San Francisco is the destination point?
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Let's take a look here.
I'm just worried about what kind of shoes to pack.
Okay, no problem. Looks like on Saturday it's going to be partly cloudy. They are expecting a high of 62. Rain is expected, though, on Sunday and into Monday as well.
So I better take my rain boots?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably a good idea if you want to stay dry.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for your help.
Yeah, my pleasure. You have yourself a nice night, sir.
You too. Bye-bye. As you saw, he didn't flinch when I asked him about the weather. It had nothing to do with shoes. That's a great, great customer call, and really putting the customer first and working hard to develop that positive emotional connection. The last thing I want to share with you was the first thing that got me really excited after becoming a customer. I called the company to see if I could arrange a tour on my next trip to Las Vegas, and in fact, not only were they able to arrange it, but they picked me up at the airport, they welcomed me at their concierge reception desk, and they truly treated me like a VIP. So much so that they anointed me king for the day at Zappos, and they took a picture of me in this silly hat sitting in a big king's chair. What do you think about that? Yes, it really was fun being king for a day at Zappos. You know, this company, Zappos, is big, and they're only going to get bigger. I'd like to think of them as an Amazon for shoes, but really, I think it's something else. Amazon is known for great selection, great price, and sketchy service. Try calling their 800 number. It's hard to get someone on the line. Zappos is known for great selection, great service, and a good price, about the same as you'd pay in any retail store. What they've proven here in the lesson for us is that you can build loyalty without focusing on price. And I think it's a great lesson for us to remember, even in these tough economic times. There are some questions that we need to ask ourselves as we think about how Zappos might apply into our practices. First, do you have a set of core values? And more importantly, do you live by them? Second, do you have the right people on the team? That's probably the most important thing here in 2009, because we just can't afford to have people who aren't sharing our passion and our vision for the customer experience. And by the way, that bounty idea, I like it, and I think some of you should try it. Third, what is your goal for your telephone interactions when you have patients on the phone? Are you trying to establish a positive emotional connection? Legendary businesses have legendary stories, and without a question, Zappos is going to become a legendary business. Their CEO shared a story about pizza. Specifically, he was in a hotel in San Francisco with several of his colleagues, and it was getting late at night, and they were hungry and wanted pizza. He asked one of his colleagues to call Zappos, not tell them they were with the CEO, and just ask them where the nearest pizza parlor was that was open at that location at that time and near their location in the hotel. In fact, without flinching a beat, much like our gentleman on the phone today, they looked up the nearest pizza parlors and gave a few options to Tony and his crew. So what role does storytelling play in your practice? Do your new employees get to hear stories from other employees who have been there longer about legendary things that have happened? This is something for you to consider. And finally, I just want to share with you that Zappos did a great job of having me share their story, and I'm sure some of you who haven't tried the company are now going to try it to order your next pair of shoes. That's amazing. That's word of mouth, and that's what we're trying to foster with all our customers as well as our employees. For the Premium Experience Network, this is Shareef Mahdavi, and that's how I see it.